discuss about the data distribution topology today. So in data distribution topology, we will have more than one target environment, but the source would be only one. So this is one of the application where replication like golden gate being used for achieving this data distribution. So for example, let's take company XYZ company having a head office at say for example US, but it has a branch offices across the globe. Say for example, even in UK, Japan, Singapore, India. No, sorry, the reverse is. No, I'm sorry. Okay, let's take a telecom domain. So CDRs will come from call data records will come from the satellite, and those will be processed in the initially by one system. I forgot the name. After that, those records will be distributed to different sections. Okay, say for example, customer care division or some building department. Just I'm giving a general example. It's not exactly the true, but general. Admin department, some XYZ dispatch department, like that. So we will have different departments. So what happens is that the call data, whatever they are receiving, so that will be distributed across all the divisions. Say for example, customer care or billing department or admin department or dispatch section. So again, each division, customer care division will have their own processing. They will use this data for their regular different purpose, and the same data will be used by billing department for generation of the bills, etc. And the same data will be used by admin department for some different purpose, and dispatch team will have the same data for some different purpose, etc. So what happens is that the data being the data comes from the only one source. This is a source, but the targets are more. Generally, like to achieve this one, generally in our regular scenarios, what happens is that we need to find out some replication methodology, so which will keep syncing both the database source as well as target. So one of the option we can use it, Golden Gate. In this, what happens is that as and when the transaction happens at a source machine, automatically the same transaction would be replicated across all the data centers or across all the databases under which we for which the data has to go. So this is one of the common scenario. So the data distribution. So in today's scenario, since I am giving the demo on my local laptop, so I don't have 3 databases because of the system resources. So I'm trying to simulate the same environment in my machine, in the source as well as in the target also. So just let me explain you how I'm going to do over here. As you know, I have a database called India. I have a database called US. In India, I have an employees table which contains all the employee details. Okay, and I have another database called US. Here, what I did was I created total 3 tables. One is employee underscore payroll. Another one is employee underscore admin team, or you can say HR also. Employee underscore some other one dispatch section. You can name it Just I'm taking it as this example. So I have total 3 tables in the target machine. Instead of creating 3 databases in my target machine, so what I did was just I created the 3 tables in the target machine, target database itself, because of the resource constraint on my laptop. So in the source database, we have a table called employee, EMP, and the target database, I have total 3 tables, which are exact replica of the employee table, which is in the source. So only the name difference is the name only, employee underscore payroll, employee underscore admin, employee underscore dispatch. All these 3 tables having the same column structure and everything is same, but it is not compulsory to have the same structure. You can have different column names and everything, and you can have a different column name, or you can have different table structure itself. Okay, but in our example, for easiness, I am selecting the same column structure as target, in the source. Okay, let me explain you. Employee table is located in India, and I have 3 tables in the US database, that is a target database for me. So the table names are employee payroll, EMP underscore payroll, EMP underscore admin, and EMP underscore dispatch. Let's assume that employee underscore payroll table will be used by payroll department, and employee underscore admin will be used by HR team or admin team. And third one is employee underscore dispatch table will be used by dispatch section or something like that. Just you can assume it. So we have total 3 tables, but in the real-time scenario, you will have 3 databases. One database belongs to payroll, another database belongs to admin section, and third one is dispatch section. But in our practical scenario, what I did was I created all those 3 tables in my single database itself at the target location, which is at US. Okay, so now what I'm trying to do today here is that as and when we are inserting the data, the same would be replicated to all these 3 tables. Okay, so that is the objective of our objective today. So this is nothing but a data distribution. So whatever the data we are inserting in at employee table, the same will be distributed across more than one target database. So here we configured 3 tables, but you can have more than 3 tables, also three endpoints also. Okay, so and always data flows from source to target here, but not the reverse way. Okay, so it is also one way. In short, we can say unidirectional only. So, but we are going to configure multiple unidirectionals. Okay, so how we are going to achieve? Just let me explain you. Assume that in a real-time scenario, this is a head office employee table, employee database. Forget about the India and US. In the real-time scenario, let's assume that head office is there. Their employee table is there. Employee database is there. Or head office database, we can say, for easiness. And we have another database called payroll. In that, EMP underscore payroll is the table. This is another database. And we have another database called admin. In this, EMP underscore admin database, admin table is there. Admin is the database name, and under that admin we have a EMP underscore admin table, and we have one more database called dispatch. In this, EMP underscore dispatch. Okay, so what we have total to 4 databases. One is head office database where all the employee information will be available, and we have total another 3 other databases. One is a payroll database, another one is admin database, third one is the dispatch database. In payroll department, we have a employee underscore payroll. In admin department, we have a EMP underscore admin. Third one is in a dispatch database, we have EMP underscore dispatch table. Okay, So suppose in general scenario, if we need to configure the replicate, what we need to do is, we need to configure the extract over here. Okay, so at the source location, the table will read the changes from the source database. We will configure one extract over here, but you can increase more than one extract also, but in our example I am considering only one extract. I will explain you in which scenarios we may need to configure more than one extract also. But let's assume that all the records, whatever the records getting inserted at head office, that should be replicated to all the records, all the database, across all the database. That is, payroll database also should receive the record, and admin database also should receive the record, as well as dispatch section also should receive the record. Okay, so for that reason, just I am configuring only one extract. Okay, now the second thing is that we need to push that local trial files to all these targets. Okay, so this extract places all the transactions into local trials. Okay, assume that we are using data pump configuration here. Okay, in this scenario, at any time, a particular pump process can push the target files to only one location. Okay, the endpoint for any pump will be only one will be there. So here I need to push the local trial, transactions to 3 databases. Means pump can only send the transactions to only one location. But here in this scenario, I need to send the transactions to 3 databases. So in this scenario, I need to configure total 3 pumps. Okay, one is for one pump is for payroll, another pump is for admin department, third one is for pushing the transactions to dispatch section. Okay, so what happens is that the first pump P1, let's say example for time being P1 and P2 and P3. Okay, P1 will read the local trial files and it will collect the information and it sends to the collector over here. Okay, and here collector will make them as a remote trial files, and we are going to configure R1 over here, which is going to read this remote trial file and it will apply. Here we will name remote trial file names as a PA. Okay, just for easy understanding, it starts with PA, or you can say even RT also, that's not a problem. Remote trials, later I will explain. Okay, so what I did was I configured a pump at source location P1, which will read the transactions from the local trial files and it will push us to payroll database location, payroll server, which is located in some different location. So there, one second please. So what I did was I configured one pump process at source machine, and it will push all the transactions to the collector process on payroll server, and collector on the payroll server will write them into remote trial files on that machine, and we will have another replicate process on the target machine which will read those remote trial files and it will replicate them into payroll database. Okay, so I hope you are clear up to this point. Am I right? Okay, I am assuming that both are clear up to this point. So now I am moving to further P2. So in P2, again we have another pump which has been defined for pushing the transactions from employee table to employee table we are located at a head office to admin database which is located in admin server. So the main purpose of this P2 is just only read the transactions from the local server, local tries, and push them those transactions to admin server. So here also on this admin server also we will install Golden Gate, and so automatically you will have one collector process. So this P2, what it does is that it reads these local trial files, okay, and it pushes them to collector file. So collector file, what it does, it creates another remote trial files over here, and here we will have another replicate. So what it does is that replicate will read these remote trial files and it applies to admin. Okay, now now in a similar way we have another process called P3, pump process P3. So what it does is that it is going to read the local trial files located in the head office server. Okay, and it sends to collector process, and collector process makes them as a remote trial files over here, and here we will have one R3 which will read remote trial files and applies them to dispatch database. So in the dispatch database we have EMP underscore dispatch table. So the transactions whatever it receives through remote trial files, it applies them to the employee underscore dispatch database. So is it clear up to this point, Phanindra? If you both are clear, then I will take it further. Concept is simple, but it's a little confusion, so just I am trying to confirm from you, both of you. Phanindra, are you there? Phanindra, are you there? Okay, Phanindra, I am assuming that you are clear with this, so I will take it forward. Okay, so if you observe this diagram, we have total one extract, we have total 3 pumps at the source machine, and we have 3 replicates in the total 3 replicates, one replicate in the payroll section, one replicated admin section, and third one is one replicated dispatch section. So total we have 3 replicates. Okay, but in our example, in our lab session, what I am going to do is I am going to create the pump process in the source, that is common. But in the target, what I am going to do, I am going to create 3 replicates on the same server, because I am replicating all those into 3 different tables which are located in the same database. So I am going to use, I am going to create the replicates on the same server in the target. Okay, so in our example, extract I am going to use ext IND-US. There is no change for this name. For P1, I am giving a naming convention as pump process for payroll, pump process payroll from India to US. Okay, so for corresponding to this remote trial files, what I am doing is that in dir dat location, generally we used to keep it in dir dat location. Now I am creating another folder called payroll. Under that I am going to create the trial files which will start with the PA. Just this convention is to make it clear for us only, so it's not compulsory. Since I am going to replicate, my replication n tables are located on the same database, so I'm trying to avoid the confusion for the remote trial files. For that reason, I'm creating dir dat/payroll/pa. Earlier we used to keep all the files under dir dat/, rt is the prefix for the trial file names. Here now dir dat I created another folder called payroll folder. Under the payroll folder I am going to create trial files starting with pa. Okay, now for the replicate, what I am going to give naming as replicate starts with the replicate or PA, and this is India to US. Okay, so now you are clear. Extract IND US, there is no change for that extract process because only one process. For pump process, I given a naming convention as pump process starts with a P and PA for payroll, IND US, India to US, the data is moving. Okay, and for the remote trial files for the payroll department is under the dir dat I am creating one more folder called payroll. Under that all the trial files will start with PA. Okay, now the similar way I am going to define the names for second pump also. P pump process P, and admin server I am giving as AD. You can use anything for our easiness. I am using this name. And dir dat slash, here I am creating another folder called admin. Earlier I created a payroll, now I am creating admin, and all the trial files will be prefixed with AD. Okay, and replicate will be having RAD, replicate admin from India to US. Okay, now third one is P. This is for dispatch section. I am abbreviating as a DI, IND US. For trial files, I am using dir dat dispatch slash DI. All the trials files will be prefixed with DI. Okay. So are you clear up to this point, Amir? Okay, good. Thank you. So with this assumption, we are going to create one replication in our environment. Okay. And Fanindra, are you there? Yeah, seems he is away. Okay, fine. So with this convention, I am going to. Yes, you are right, Amir. So each pump process must follow and replicate. Okay. So now I am going to simulate the same scenario in my local database. So, and we will use this diagram as and when required again. So I have a configuration. Let me clear it off so that we can do it from the scratch. Okay, we cleared it, everything in the source. So now I'm clearing it in the now I'm deleting the checkpoint table also. So everything has been deleted in the target also. So I created one fresh table, folders. It contains nothing. So I'm checking if any checkpoint files exist. Nothing exists. So we are good now. So, and the next one is we need to ensure that nothing left in the this is the source set. Select star from tab. I have an employees table. Select star from EMP. So two records exist. I'm deleting them. Okay. So just to make it very simple, I'm taking an empty tables only, so that it will be easy for you to understand. But it's not required. It's not compulsory to have empty tables. And in the target location, connect Scott star target. Select star from tab. Okay. I actually what I did was I created a total 3 tables. I'm ensuring that nothing exists in the delete emp underscore admin, delete emp underscore dispatch, delete emp underscore payroll, commit. So no data exists over here, emp underscore. emp underscore payroll. Okay. So we left with no data in both the location, source as well as target. So we are good now. So the first step as per the documentation is we need to create one extract over here. After that, we need to create one pump over here, total 3 pumps, 2 and 3, and we need to add the parameters for extract as well as pumps. And after that, we need to create the replicates at these 3 locations. Okay, so that is only the thing we need to do. So automatically it will work. So just I given an example over here. I think I used just I given a write-up about this one. So I think I took it as a US, Japan and Singapore, but we are using what it is, payroll, admin and dispatch sections. So rest of the example will be with this one only. The first step in our configuration is that I need to add the extract, add extract, ext, indus, tran log. It is going to read from the tran log and begin now. Okay. So first one is I'm going to check what are the processes available at the source. Sorry. Next, I'm going to add the extract. Since I already created earlier, so you will have a parameters file already available. Let me show you. So this is for extract INDUS, and this is the environment and username and password and ext trial. It is placing the trials at this location, and we are covering for employee so and so. I mean employee as EMP as well as DEPT tables. So this is a quite common. So the first step is completed. I added it. The second step is I need to add the local trial files. Okay, there is no trial file exists, so I'm adding over here. Add extra ext trial. This is the location extract ext INDUS, and I'm going to check whether this has been added. Okay, and the third one is the next step is we need to add the pump set source only. So I'm adding 3 pumps. 1, 2, 3. So the names also I defined. P stands for pump, and PS stands for payroll, INDUS, and DI and AD. And for all these prompts, the source is dir.lt. The source is same for all the pumps. Okay, so let me add all these pumps one after another. Added all those. Okay, so this is what happened. Now I need to add the parameters for all these pumps. So we will discuss it how the parameters will be. So I mentioned to you, for this the remote trials file will be, this is the location. For this is the different location, and this is the different location. Except this, rest of the parameters will be the same for all the pumps. So let's since I already configured earlier, you will have the parameter files in place, even though if I delete pumps already. So let me reconfirm to you what are the parameters available. So user ID and password pass through RMT host. This is a quite common. RMT trial is the parameter which is going to change. This is admin pump for admin database, admin table. So we are placing all the local trial files in the remote trial files into admin folder. Under that we are starting the trial, all the trial files with EAD, and we are doing replication for these 2 tables, DEPT as well as employee. This is for PAD INDUS. Now I am going to check for dispatch. Okay, so the same way it is there. It is pointing to dispatch. Earlier it is pointing to admin folder. Okay, since I have the I am replicating all those 3 tables into the same database, same server, so I am using a different folders. Third one is payroll. Okay, so here I am not creating the parameter file because the parameter file already exists. Just I am making use of existing parameter file. Now parameter file has been configured. The next one is I need to add the remote trial files. Okay. So if you see the remote trial files, this is the first server, this is the second one, and third one is this is the third one. So let me add all these things. Before that, let me check what are the trial files exist currently. So I'm checking the trial files. So all are visible over here. Okay. So remote trial files are completed. So with this, all the actions which I supposed to complete at the source are done now. Okay. Now the next one is I need to perform the steps at the target. So we created the pump files as well as we created the remote trial files also, locations, etc. Now I need to configure the remote replicate processes only. So now we already deleted the pump process. Let me check whether I created earlier or not. Checkpoint table doesn't exist, so I'm creating it. Add checkpoint. Sorry. So the info checkpoint table I created it. I'm going to check. So just now I created it. Now I need to add the replicates over here. One replicate, two, second replicate, and third replicate. First, second, third. So add replicate name, ext trial dir dash payroll underscore pa. This is for the local trial file, source trial files for payroll. This is the source trial file for dispatch section, and this is the source trial file location for admin team. Okay. In our example, I am creating all these three replicates in the same server on the target. But in real-time scenario, the first command will be executed on first payroll server, and the second command will be executed on the dispatch section server, and third one will be executed on the admin server. Okay. Now, info all. Okay. So I added three replicates. Now info all I will give you. Okay. That is done. Now I need to add the parameter files. Here we need to see the difference over here. First one is replicate name. Next one is environments. Username and password, that is also same. Discard file for each one. Assume targets is okay. Up to this point everything looks good. Only employee table column will get changed over here. In the source server, the source table is scott.emp, but in this target, the table will be emp underscore payroll. Okay, are you clear up to this point, Amir? Okay. Now, so that's the configuration which we need to do. Say for example, in the same way, For replicate, which is for dispatch section, that will be configured. Source will be employees, Scott.employee, but the target will be Scott.emp_dispatch. The similar way for admin server, we will have Scott.emp, but the target would be Scott.emp_admin. So this is the difference which we are going to do. Okay, since I already configured earlier, so the parameter file already exists. Only just I will show you once again. Params admin. As I mentioned, first one is a replicate, and the next 3 lines are for environment. Next one is user connection, Discord file. Handle collision Caesar, I am going to take it out. Assume target depths and map, and this one. Earlier I had an issue. Sorry. Okay, now, so the similar way I am going to see the parameters for this one also. Params. Here also the same way. Handle collisions I will take it out. Rest of the rest will be the same. Generally, we should not keep these handle collisions unless we have some issue with the data. Next one is I am checking the data for params. Okay, now I have all the details now. Params. Okay, so I created now the parameter files also. Now what I need to do is just I need to start the services at both the locations. So before that I am checking select star from EMP. So no data exists. This target also I am checking. No data exists. Payroll. So no data exists in either of the tables. So, and also I am checking if any. So all are down. Here that. Here also contains nothing. And in the target server also I am checking. So nothing there. Dispatch. We need to ensure that no trial files exist when you are cleaning. Otherwise it's going to be confusion. So no file exists. So I am going to start. Connected and info all are down. So here also I connected. DD login, user ID, GG user, password, GG user, info all. Okay. Now first one I am going to start extract. Info all running. Start pump processes. Info all. And now I will start the replicate processes. Till now everything looks good. Now we need to cross check whether data being replicated or not. For that I need to insert some data in the target source machine. So I am inserting some data. 1A. I'm committing the data. I'm going to check how the replicate process all are running. Info X replicate. Yeah, RBI is moving. Then good. So I'm going to cross check. One record came to admin table. Dispatch table also contains. Payroll also contains one record. So I will insert another one more record for trial purpose. Second B commit. Now I will check the same thing in the target. Both the records came. Dispatch, admin. Okay, so the replication is completed. So now we are receiving the data. Say for example, in some scenarios, certain records only has to be pushed to the payroll, not all the employee tables, all the employee records. And in the similar way, certain records only has to be pushed to admin, or certain records only has to be pushed to dispatch section. So you are using row filtering. So if that the row filtering is required, I mean you need to send selective records only to the databases and the target machines. So you can add filter class, row filtering also for this a data pump. You can add it, or you can implement a replicate. Can you implement it in extract, Amir? Row filtering in this scenario? Sorry, voice is not clear for me. You can type it. Fanindra, are you there on the call? Yes, only pump level or at a replicate level we can implement the row filtering, not at the extract level. Okay, so that is the one thing. And the similar way, if you need to apply column filtering also, you can do at pump only or at replicate level. And you can do the column mapping also. Everything is same, but I am not including those row filtering or column filtering or column mapping in this example to make it simple for us. But you can implement it the way how you want. Okay, so that's what I targeted to complete today. Actually, in fact, I was thinking to do some data consolidation as well. Means data consolidation is exactly opposite of this one. But I think it's already late for me today, so I need to go out. So we will wind it up today, and